Hey Ari Avengers, what is up? It has been a long time. It's been probably about 4 months since I've filmed anything. Um, this video is definitely going to be lower quality. There's not going to be any cuts, there's not going to be any edits because I don't have any of my stuff. I have relocated from one part of Japan to another, so I don't have any of my shit to film anything properly. So yeah, I'm literally just got my phone up here mounted to this glass door. I got my freaking iPhone headphones for a microphone, and I have my laptop with all my notes because that's how good Wolverine and Deadpool was, that it had to pull me out of my 4 month sabbatical to come on here and discuss it with you guys. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Like I said, there's not going to be any cuts, there's not going to be any edits, very low quality video. Apologies. When I get all my stuff, I can finish editing the Rogue One video that I promised you guys back in like February, and I can start editing new stuff to put out for you guys as well. So bear with me. So yeah, Ari Avengers, let's assemble for this reaction, and there's not going to be any cutaways to anything because I can't edit anything. So yeah, let's just get into it. So Wolverine and Deadpool. I'm going to hit a few key talking points that were important to me at least, and just go through my notes here, and you guys can leave your comments, like, subscribe if you agree, if you disagree, let me know what you think and all that other good stuff. So my first talking point was Resurrecting Logan. So a lot of people have had a lot of thoughts about this, especially since they announced that RDJ was also going to be brought back as Doctor Doom. We're not going to get into that aspect in this video, into RDJ as Doctor Doom. That will be another video. Maybe I'll make it a short, I don't know, but that will not be discussed here. But there's been a lot of controversy, amongst bringing back iconic actors that had such fantastic send-offs within the MCU, and Logan is definitely one of those. So I will say, in my notes here, I wrote that I thought it was done very well, and I felt that it really fell in line with the shenanigans, like encompassing the multiverse, right? So having Wolverine come back, not necessarily as the Logan that we lost in our universe, but a Logan from another universe, definitely falls in line with the multiverse stuff. Same thing with RDJ, even though I know I just said we weren't going to talk about that. Same concept, it's fine because we're not bringing back our Tony Stark, we're not bringing back our Wolverine, we're bringing back a Wolverine or a Tony Stark from a different multiverse or from a different universe. So it kind of falls in line with what phases 4 through 6 were supposed to be anyways. So I don't hate it that much. And honestly, somehow I think they actually found a better way to pay respect to Hugh Jackman's Wolverine by having him come back for this Deadpool movie. Like, Logan was a fantastic send off. Like that movie, with him and what the hell's her name? X-23? I can't remember. But that movie was a fantastic send off for his character. But I will say, Wolverine and Deadpool, not a bad way to to bring him back and probably to say goodbye to him again. Like, they did a pretty fantastic job with that. I do think that for me personally, I am a huge Hugh Jackman fan anyways. So knowing that he just got his divorce, which I also thought was fucking out of pocket that they used his divorce as a joke in the film. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, I will say I'm a huge Hugh Jackman fan, and I think knowing how he was struggling after divorcing his wife and then being separated and everything after 27 years of marriage, Wolverine is a character that he's been portraying since, like throughout his whole marriage and everything. And to kind of go back to that, I don't know, maybe I feel like maybe it probably helped him cope through like such a huge like moment in his life, and it gave him something else to focus on. Like, I don't know, I think because it, like, you can see how he struggled with the divorce and everything, seeing him come back as Wolverine and like act through some of those things, like, I don't know, something about it just hit a little bit more for me, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like it just made me love him even more as an actor. And as a character as well. I don't know, you guys. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I thought it was fantastic. And the fact that Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, poked fun at his divorce, I was like, damn, it's too soon for me. But if he's okay with it, then all right. It was funny. So my next talking point is incorporating Deadpool into the MCU now, because now everything is falling under the Disney conglomerate, Fox, Sony, anything else that was owned under different names is now basically falling under Disney to be used within the MCU, and that now includes Deadpool. So we love this, you know. I think Deadpool is probably the perfect way to try and revive the MCU. I wrote here in my notes that I said his fourth wall breaks allows for open, honest communication with fans. Wait, what did I say? Oh, bitch. Okay, so yeah, I said fourth wall breaks allows for open, honest communication with fans about the drop in quality from the MCU in the previous years, and it's done in a way that doesn't feel forced and can be delivered from a fan favorite character. So yeah, it definitely is one of those things where when Deadpool makes these jokes and he talks about, you know, oh, in the MCU it's been miss after miss after miss. Like, it's funny, obviously, because we know it's true, but I think I enjoy it even more because it's the studios poking fun at themselves and the fact that they know they've been flopping. Like, they're self-aware and they're choosing to let us know that they're self-aware through one of their most beloved characters, which I think is really smart. You know, like, if you're gonna deliver a message from the studio, why not have your talking head be one of the most like iconic and funny characters that the MCU has brought us, you know? So I think Deadpool's definitely, if anyone was gonna jumpstart a revival for the MCU franchise, I think Wolverine and Deadpool. I think Deadpool's the character to do it, and I think this movie might have been the one to do it. But we'll have to see how Marvel Studios moves forward. So my next talking point was the cameos. So when we left the movie theater, my husband told me that he felt it was a little fan servicey with all of the cameos, and me and my other friend Rico, that he also came with us to watch the movie, we both said that we disagreed, mainly because who asked for a cameo of Elektra? Nobody, I think. Nobody even asked for the first Elektra movie. So yeah, like, there were a lot of cameos that it's just like nobody wanted to see Chris Evans come back as Human Torch. Like, was it awesome? And was it definitely like something that I think caught a lot of people off guard? Yes, of course, because you see Chris Evans, of course you're gonna think Captain America, and then to have him take off and he like fucking bursts into flames and shit, it was amazing. And I know it caught a lot of people off guard. It didn't catch me off guard because as soon as I saw the other people that were on that San Diego Comic-Con panel for Wolverine and Deadpool, when I saw Chris Evans up there, I was like, he's going to be the Human Torch. He's not going to be Captain America. Like, be serious. But I thought it was really cool. I said it fits the trajectory of the MCU with the multiverse, and these cameos make sense to help solidify all Marvel superheroes under one umbrella now. So because they've incorporated the multiverse, now we can go back and we can incorporate all these other superhero movies from the past before they were all united under Disney, under Marvel Studios. So I think that's pretty cool. Like, it just, I don't know, now everything feels grounded in one big multiverse thing, you know? And what else did I include in here? Oh yeah, I said the characters fell perfectly back into their roles, in my opinion. They didn't miss a beat, and where they might have missed a beat, you had Deadpool to point it out. Like, for example, Channing Tatum and him portraying Gambit and his accent being fucking atrocious. Like, you had Deadpool there to point it out and poke fun at it, and it just, I don't know, it worked. It worked. Also, Cavalrine, Henry Cavill as Wolverine in one of the different universes during that opening montage, or like that Wolverine, that Search for Wolverine montage, that was fucking fantastic. And that was probably the only cameo that I said felt kind of fan servicey, but I still loved it. And overall, I think cameos have kind of been a staple within Deadpool films anyways, so if you didn't like it or you felt it was too fan servicey, like, tough shit. The fight scenes, that was another thing for me. The fight scenes were choreographed beautifully. They were relevant to the story, like the opening fight scene with the TVA. They were visually appealing to watch, like the Deadpool massacre where they're like killing all the Deadpools from different multiverses and stuff like that. And on top of that, they were hilarious and incorporated character development. The Honda Odyssey fight scene, like, you can't tell me those sales aren't going up. Like, they're selling Honda Odysseys now because of that fight scene. Like, you can get fucked hard in a Honda Odyssey. Deadpool said it himself. So, yeah, like, that fight scene was just, like, I don't know, because even though it was like an action scene, obviously, to give the audience or whatever, like, it's cool seeing Wolverine and Deadpool, two characters that can't really die like that, just fucking going at it. And they're not just going at it for no reason. Like, they're going at it because they're like, the conversation leading up to that fight scene is them just tearing into each other, and Wolverine going in on Deadpool as a person and how he's a piece of shit and all this stuff. And you can clearly tell he's projecting. Like, I feel like in Deadpool he sees a lot of his own failures and everything, so you can tell he hates himself for what he did to the X-Men in his universe. But being around Deadpool, he's definitely projecting a lot of that onto him, and then them just going at it and fighting each other, it's like fighting their inner turmoil. Like, I don't know, there was just something about it. It was very interesting, and it was beautifully choreographed, it was beautifully shot, and it was so funny. And the music, oh, I'm not even going to get to that because I'll talk about that later. But anyways, yeah, the fight scenes were fantastic. Sometimes, personally, for me, fight scenes drag on a little too long. If you've seen any of my Star Wars videos, you know that that's like a common complaint for me, is fight scenes that just last way too long, or chase scenes that last way too long. I'm looking at you, Phantom Menace pod racing scene. I'm looking at you, Attack of the Clones, chasing after, I think it was Boba Fett scene or whatever. They just last too long, and I personally don't like them. However, and before anybody comes at me, when I say this, all lightsaber fight scenes and Order 66, those scenes are exempt, okay? Those scenes are fantastic. But for me, there's a lot of scenes in Star Wars where the fight scenes just drag. And I did not feel that way about any of the fight scenes in these movies. Like, I was visually, like, I was, like, you could look at me and I'm literally, like, smiling like a child in a candy store looking at these fight scenes because they were just so fantastic and I loved it. So, next talking point is overall plot and character development. I'm just going to read off my notes because this is kind of a long one. I said, it did kind of create a problem out of thin air for Deadpool to solve, with Paradox being the villain, but it didn't feel forced, you know? Falling into a depression after being denied a status as an Avenger and then losing Vanessa in the process is very relatable for Deadpool. I feel like, especially being in the military, there's a lot of people that go in for the military for like harder types of career fields, like pararescue, or like maybe you're going in to be like a Navy SEAL or TAC-P or something special forces, and sometimes they don't make it all the way through, you know. And there's a lot of people that I see that they get reclassed into professions that are nowhere near what they wanted to do. And sometimes, you know, they fall into a depression over that because, you know, you wanted to be something so fantastic, something greater than yourself. And then here's life literally telling you, like, yeah, no, like, you're gonna do something less than what you thought you were meant for. I felt like, even though, yeah, the fact that he's like a superhero and you know, the multiverse and the TVA, none of those elements are relatable, of course, because that's all fiction. But the situation of wanting to better yourself and then literally being told no, and then trying to come back from that and like prove yourself to yourself, that is a very relatable narrative. And doing it for the people you love too, like, that's extremely relatable, and, you know, we love that. And I feel like that was really good character development, especially for a character like Deadpool that is typically played for laughs, you know. But I feel like that's what makes his serious moments so much more impactful, because he is such a humorous character that when you actually see him struggling with something, you feel it that much more. And then in regards to Logan, I wrote, Logan refusing his fate as an X-Men and all the other X-Men losing their lives partially because of that. while a bit contrived, is also still very believable, especially if you've been following Logan's story since X-Men 2000. It's very plausible that in another universe he maintained his lone wolf demeanor and didn't open himself up to the X-Men, leading to him not being there to help prevent their inevitable demise. I feel like both characters benefited tremendously from being long-standing franchise favorites. The audience is already more than invested in them, and I mean, with Hugh Jackman, we have over like almost 2 decades of him playing Wolverine. Like, we know his character, we're invested in him, and even in Hugh Jackman himself in that role, we're invested in him, you know. So I feel like they just got really lucky with, not lucky, but like, it was very beneficial that Wolverine and Deadpool were the two headers for this movie, because we've already had so much continuity on both of them, so much time to sit with these characters and watch films with these characters. Even though Deadpool's only been in 2, there's no other MCU character like him. I mean, maybe Jen Walters with the fourth wall breaks, but we're not even gonna go there. Excuse me. But yeah, I just feel like the character development for both of them was very, very well done, and I really appreciate it. It's probably one of my favorite aspects of the film. So now, just moving on into my favorite things, the music. The music was fucking amazing. Like, it was so fun. It was so good. It was so good. So I wrote a lot for the music too. So I'll just say the way I knew every song that played from Bye 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 by NSYNC in the opening credit scene to Make Me Lose Control by Eric Carmen. The music for this movie was right up my alley. Like, there wasn't one song that played that wasn't already in my Spotify like library, which I loved. And I don't know, like, each song excited me the way that the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtracks used to excite me. Volume 3 for Guardians of the Galaxy was not great to me, and I actually have a video on that if you want to go watch my thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 when it came out. The music just felt kind of gimmicky at that point, and even though Deadpool has kept kind of the same type of sound for its movies, I don't know, like, I just loved it. And I started to notice that, like, it seems like the way they go about choosing songs for Deadpool is, like, they'll watch a scene, like, let's say it's like a fight scene, like the Honda Odyssey fight scene. You would think for a song like that, you would hear, like a super intense, like, I don't know, either rap song or, like, action-packed song. I don't know. Like how when they were, damn, I can't even remember that bitch's name. Professor Xavier's evil twin, when they were going to, like, her lair or whatever to attack her, and they were playing Bring 'Em Out by Jay-Z. Like, you would think a song like that for the Honda Odyssey fight scene would make more sense. But what did they do? No, they said, we're gonna play You're the One That I Want by Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta. Like, I thought that was so funny. It's like, okay, well, let's look at this fight scene and let's fucking get a song that does not fit the essence of this scene whatsoever. Little Prayer, or like a Prayer by Madonna for the Wolverine Deadpool, like, massacre scene where they're killing all the Deadpools from like the void or whatever. Like, that song does not go with that scene at all, but it works, and it works because it's Deadpool. Like, I don't know how to explain it. The opening credit scene too, like, in Bye 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 by NSYNC, like, it doesn't, like, in some weird way, it shouldn't work, but it just does. And I think it's because it's Deadpool that it works. But I don't know, I loved it. I love the music. It was fantastic. It's what Guardians of the Galaxy used to do for me. So that, excellent. One of my other favorite things, Lady Deadpool. She wasn't there super long, but I loved her anyways. And the fact that Blake Lively inspired the character in 2010, before her and Ryan Reynolds ever even dated, before the Deadpool movies were ever even, like, before Ryan Reynolds was probably even cast or thought of to be Deadpool. Like, that is just, that's destiny working overtime to make this shit happen. Like, that was fantastic. And it's just so fucking iconic. Like, that's so cool. Like, I don't know, I just thought that was so cool. And then finally, the ending credits video that they play, the good, like with Good Riddance by Green Day playing, and it's just videos and clips from like all the films from like the characters that cameoed. I thought that was so beautiful. Like, I almost cried. It was, I don't know, it was just so fantastic. Let me read what I wrote. I said that shit made me cry. I said it was such a beautiful way to pay respects to the movies that came before them, even though they lacked in quality and most were panned by audiences and critics. Whether we want to admit it or not, shitty superhero films like Fantastic Four, X-Men The Last Stand, the other Fantastic Four, like, they still laid the groundwork for the phases of the MCU that we loved, you know, phases 1 through 3. And whether we like to admit it or not, they helped maintain that superhero movie relevancy, you know, for us to continue to go back and watch the films from the MCU, like for phases 1 through 3. So I just think that's really cool that they went back and they paid their respects to those films, because without them, I don't think interest in superhero movies would have taken off the way it did. So I think that's pretty fantastic. My dislikes for the film, honestly, none. Like, I really can't think of any dislikes that I had for this movie. And I just saw it last night, so maybe like my rose-colored glasses are still on, but I genuinely really enjoyed this film. It's honestly everything that's been lacking in the MCU in the past years, at least to me, you know? Like, this is all my opinion, so if you think differently, that's fine. But yeah, I don't know, it gave us well-developed, relatable struggles and conflicts for our characters. And, you know, the fight scenes were fantastic. It was extremely well-timed and precise humor that wasn't overly used and wasn't overly done or placed in awkward moments where it would like deter from like serious moments and everything. It was just, I really have no complaints about this film. If you feel differently, comment below and let me know, because honestly, to me, this movie deserves all the praise that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 got. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was very, like, average to me. Wolverine and Deadpool, the bitch is up here. The bitch, like, that's a bad bitch. Like, she looking good. She looking real good, you know? So, I don't know. That's just personally how I feel. If you feel differently, please comment down below and, like, plead your case, because you're fucking weird. Like, if you didn't think this movie was great, you're fucking weird. But like I said, I just saw it. It hasn't even been, like, has it been 12 hours? Okay, yeah. It hasn't even been 24 hours since I saw it, so I might be a little bit biased, but I thought it was, I literally have no complaints. Maybe I should watch it again, but I literally have no complaints. And then someone asked me, because I have been posting in the community tab, I made like 2 posts since I saw it yesterday, and somebody asked me how I would rank them in order of, like, you know, best to, or like favorite to like least favorite within like all 3 Deadpool films. So for me, I think I'm gonna go Wolverine and Deadpool for my top slot. I'm gonna go Deadpool 1 and then Deadpool 2. Like, Deadpool 2 with like him and Cable, like, it didn't really, I liked it. I still thought it was a really good film. Did not like it as much as Deadpool 1, and I definitely like this one over 1 and 2. So yeah, for me it's going to be Deadpool 3, Deadpool 1, and then Deadpool 2. But if you guys have a different ranking, comment down below, let me know. That's pretty much all I got until I get my setup. I'm not saying I'm going to film like this all the time, but like, this is what you get. This is what you get. Unedited, no music, raw footage, like, this is what you get. Just me, no lube. Oh my god. Okay. But yeah, yeah, just raw. But yeah, this is it. And until we move, because right now we're staying here, but this is not where we're going to be staying permanently. So until we move, I can't get my stuff to film because all my stuff is in storage and there's not enough room here. So you guys are just going to have to wait. I do appreciate all of the subscribers that have been with me for the long haul, and I'm glad that you guys are still here even in between months of not posting. It means so much to me that you guys are that loyal. To all the newcomers that have watched my videos and everything, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Ari Avenger. Like I said, my setup is usually set the fuck up. Like, it does not look like this. And yeah, I'm not gone. I'm still here. Just had a lot of stuff going on these past few months and trying to get settled into a new space and a new home and everything. So thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for watching. I really, really, really want you guys to comment down below and give me your opinions and your thoughts and everything. If you want to support the channel, subscribe. I haven't checked my analytics in a long time, but the majority of you hoes are not subscribed. And these videos are free, so subscribe. Come on, man, help me out a little bit here. The military doesn't pay that much. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys again, and that's pretty much all I have. If I think of anything else, maybe I'll post another video like this, or if this video does decent like this, maybe I'll just crank out videos like this giving talking points, because I've had a lot to say about Dr. Doom as RDJ, and I have not said anything. Did I say Dr. Doom as RDJ? I've had a lot to say about RDJ as Dr. Doom. Oh my god, that's almost as bad as Christian Haydenson, for those who know, for those who watched my Revenge of the Sith video. Yeah, I said Christian Haydenson, and that was just, yeah, that was a brain malfunction. But anyways, that's all I have. Come back, see me later, and Ari Avengers disassemble. Peace out, y'all.